Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adini Ajishafe to let you have a feel of some grassroots football there. Kwara versus Ekiti State at the 39 Ramat Cup that took place in Kano. We'll be looking at some stories trending in the world of sports, starting with NFF story, where NFF elections, federal government wants Nigerian Football Federation aspirants to respect court order. Well, it has been like that for like a while now, where that particular court injunction was actually granted by a judge of the Federal High Court, and now that particular court order needs to be obeyed according to the federal government through the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development. Let's look at the excerpt coming from the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development, the statement that was released just yesterday, where the ministry is not oblivious of the recent development concerning the elective Congress of NFF, which ordinarily had been scheduled to take place on the 30th September 2022. The ministry is also aware of the court order made by Honorable Justice I.E. Equal of the Federal High Court on the 15th day of September 2022, whereby the court had directed all parties, including NFF and the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport Development, to maintain status quo ante pending the final order of court. Following from the above order of court, which had also been served on the office of the Honorable Minister and third defendant in the case under reference, the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sport will obey and abide by the court order and hereby advise all other defendants in this case, including NFF, to abide by the order of court by not doing anything or taking any further steps, particularly as regard NFF elections that will be or could be interpreted to amount to disobedience to lawful court order or contempt of court. The public domain that NFF, known under the Nigeria existing law as NFA Act 2004, is one of the parastatals under the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development. The ministry is studying all processes served on it concerning this case and will take appropriate steps on action to defend itself within the context permitted by the law of our land. Stakeholders in the Nigerian Football Federation family are therefore urged to remain calm and law-abiding as the ministry seeks a resolution. Coming from that's Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development in the statement released by the PAMSEC there, Abubakar Ismaila there. Well, as it says, the Nigerian Football Federation election is supposed to be coming up tomorrow. That will be 30th of September in Benin City and Edo State, while a court injunction was actually filed that election should just not hold. Well, from the way it says, Nigerians are waiting to see the development that could with this election really hold or not. But from the federal government, obey court's order, telling the NFF, although news came in that CAF observer, FIFA observer, they are around, where we wait how that will be unfolding when it comes to this particular election. I have in the studio Joel Ajayi. Let's talk about this.
Very good morning to you, to Nigeria. And then I'm very much happy to be here this morning. Honestly, it's like a every 4 years syndrome that we used to have in the Nigeria Football Federation. The only year I could say we don't have this kind of situation was 2018, the election in Katsina. And then simply because the incumbent is trying to contest at the second one, then no contestant was maybe contesting against him. That was the only year that
everything went smooth.
that everything went on smoothly, because it is 4 years drama. It might be melodrama, it might be challenge, and in as much as the election is coming in Nigeria Football Federation, we always experience something like this. But the truth of the matter is that we need to go to maturity as a nation. When we are talking about the FIFA, when we are talking about the country that we know as a sovereign nation, FIFA law to Nigeria, to me, is alien. I'm a product of political science student. And then the law of Nigeria is the law that guides the land. And then when we are talking about the FIFA, it is we that we said we want to join. It's not as if they were the one forcing us to join. So whatever the lacuna between the two laws, there must be a stage of balance for everything. But be it as it may, election may hold, pending on it will be on two situations. As we speak now, NFF is at High Court, I'll be appeal court to quash the injunction. But the injunction is not one. We have two injunctions: the Bayelsa injunction and then the Abuja injunction. So it might be a bit difficult for them to get things done. And then with the little experience we have in sport, in 2006, some people, they always forget something. But for some of us that find ourselves in the corridor of sport, something similar to this, something equivalent to this happened when the Ibrahim Galadima and then the IRC of Abia State emerged as the president and the vice president respectively. But because of this similar situation like this, federal government said no, it cannot see the light of the day. You have to come back to Abuja. That was the election that brought the Alhaji Sani Lulu to become president of NFF in 2006. In 2014, that's why I say it's drama. Before the end of his 4 years tenure, there will be challenge here and there, and then he was impeached because of the issue of money, issue of bickering and all these things. The same thing applicable in 2010 or 2014 when Megeri, as his tenure is about to expire, they will bring issue, they impeach him. But the government then now says that it will not be okay for us to be fighting all the time. Just bring Megeri back and then let him conduct election. That was the election that brought the outgoing president in person of Amaju Pinnick. But what I am trying to say is that whether we like it or not, the football is big enough for every stakeholder, every genuine stakeholder to be part of it. But what I sense from Nigeria football is that some people have been shot outside the door, and then it will not bring the lasting peace that we have. What these people are asking for is that just amend the constitution. I don't think it is something that is normal for the country that we have over 200 million Nigeria, and then just 44 delegates, we just decide on who is going to be at the helm of affair of Nigeria football. It's not, let's say we have Nigeria as a nation now, and then we now say that it's only each, maybe two candidates from state that we choose our president. It will amount to a whole lot of crises and challenges. So for me, my appeal to all stakeholders is that, and then if they move to that Edo to do the election, let's say FIFA and CAF, who are the FIFA, who are the CAF? They are our people. It's a communication, it's all about communication. It's just for us to pay their flight back. We have little itches about this election. We are going to call you in due course to do this election. For me, it's just a simple thing. Accommodate everybody, because I used to say is any home that lack peace, there will be no growth and development in that particular place. That's what we are experiencing in NFF right
now. From the way it is, why is it so hard for NFF to just admit and allow all this problem to actually go down? For example, the players, that are actually going to court to call for this injunction. Why is it so difficult to accept them as, okay, we agreed, we allowed us to join or amend the constitution for this thing to just work out? Why is it so hard?
That is what I was telling you. When we are talking about football is like a clique for a certain set of people. And then it's becoming more problem. The truth of the matter is that many people that even have the love for football, are not in, they are outside.
The real technocrat.
The real technocrat, they are outside.
Well.
That is nothing but the truth. So those set of people that, if you look at all the board, the 11 board, the board of NFF that we have today, some of them are in the system more than 15, 20 years. And then they are doing nothing. We are unable to qualify for World Cup, game that the federal government gave you everything that you need for us to qualify. The staff in NFF, anybody can quote me anywhere. At the end of this month, it will be 5 months. I mean the contract staff that are yet to collect their salary. Even the league management organizing committee or whatever name they call them, LMC, at the end of this month, it will be 15 months.
They are yet to be
They
paid.
are yet to be paid. So what are we now talking about? But instead of you to just look at all there is no society that is free of crisis or the challenge. But you should be able to go to maturity, seek for knowledge, seek for consultation, consult people, call on them.
What can
Let's
we
do
do
this.
to
What can
solve
we
this
do?
problem?
The Nigeria of today is beyond I'm in this, I'm that, I'm that. You have to make everybody align. You have to carry everybody along. This is what we can do. Though you might not have it free, but it's a simple thing. It's better to toe the path of peace than to toe the path of crisis that will not bring any development for us as a nation. And then, mind you, this is the only game, the only sport that unites Nigeria. Do you know that in the history of this Monshood Abiola Stadium, I've never seen crowd the way they came out during Nigeria match, Ghana match. As at 12 noon, I cannot even drove past that particular place. And then this is telling us that Nigeria are in so much in love with this football. But those people that are saddled with responsibility of managing it are just something else that I don't want to even say anything about.
We've been talking concerning the NFF elections that are supposed to come up tomorrow. Although counting junction here or there, and let's see what's going to be happening. Although we are waiting to see the new development. Will the NFF succeed in this election, even though they've been advised by federal government through the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport not to go ahead by obeying the court order? If everything goes well, the election can still hold. But if not, they should just wait till everything is sorted out. NFF should just drop their pride by at least coming down low to meet the players' union and let everybody meet at the middle for this country's football to go places. We've been talking about that. Let's move about another one that happened. Well, it was like 2 days ago now, talking about Eagles versus Desert Foxes. One of the players, the one that actually captained the team against the Phoenix of Algeria, Moses Simon says, well, he puts the blame of that particular loss to the ref, that the ref was not straightforward enough, he was biased. At least the goal scored by Lukman should have actually stood. Well, you agree with him?
Everybody entitled to his or her opinion. And then when someone unable to get the result, you must peg it on something. I think that's what Moses Simon is doing right now. To me, you play the first game, it's ended in draw. The second one, you should be able to know that you need to put your house in order. Apart from the coach instruction, as a captain, you're supposed to know how you talk to all these players. And then the truth of the matter is that we have the same crop of players all the time. And then most of them, I'm very sorry to say, most of them are not ready to give their 100% towards whenever they are playing for the country. Because they will be having it in mind that whenever they have a knock or they have any little injury, they will not be able to be playing for the club that are paying them so much. That is why I will be an apostle, advocate of Nigeria League to be developed. When you have people that are playing here, they will have it at the back of their mind that, okay, I want to sell myself to the world. That is what we have in the past. In the 80s, in the 90s, we see how many players, whenever they are playing the league, most of the players that went to abroad, they picked them from the league because the league was doing very well.
Well organized. Well
organized, everything was okay. But this time around, it is something else. So for me, Moses Simon should just try as much as possible to shift the blame elsewhere, not on the referee. If you play your game very well, if you score a very clean goal, there is no referee. Even if referee cancel the goal, you can make a little protest about whatever thing, because the whole world, they are watching, and then they know that, okay, this is a daylight robbery. So that's my own point for him.
Well, Super Eagles just have to up their game. They need to really work hard and better, smarter, and then another time they are going to be playing for Nigeria, because right now the showboating and the big manism have to stop. A lot of Nigerians that play football, very, very talented Nigerians, they need to be given the chance also. The big boys need to understand that it's a privilege, not their right, to represent Nigeria. Go out there, play well, and forget about all the issue that follows. Well, good one there coming from Joel Ajayi. Let's go international as we look at some results of Women Champions League. Some women played Champions League just yesterday across different stadia in Europe. Let's quickly look at the result of those matches that was played. Slavia women, that's Slavia Prague, they actually drew 1-0 against Valor women of Iceland. Vlasnia Femera 2. Zaitobot women actually scored 1. You have Rosenborg women 3, Brand women 1. Then you have another one, BK Hacking women. They lost against PSG by 0-2. And you have Ajax women losing against Arsenal by just a goal. Selpolten 2-2 against Corps women. Zurich women, they actually won against SFK of Finland 2,000 women against and they're 3-0 there. Real Madrid Femenino 2, Rosenborg of Sweden 1, Benfica 2, Rangers 1. And you have Juventus Femenino 2. Kog women 0 there. Now, if you look at the way it ended, a lot of matches that was played there. You have Slavia women now, they qualified because they won on aggregate of 1-0, and now they've qualified for the next round. 3-2 in favor of Vlasnia Femera. That's a team that did well from Azerbaijan. Rosenborg women also, they qualify on 4-2 aggregate, and you have PSG qualifying of 4-1 aggregate. 2-3, it ended in favor of Arsenal. Arsenal winning 3-2 there against Ajax women, and you have another one, St. Polten against Corps women 3-2. While Zurich women, they were able to win 10-0. 10-0 is the total. The first leg ended for 7, and they added another 3. Now they won that game 10-0 there to qualify on aggregate, while Real Madrid 5-1. You have Benfica also 5-3, and you have Juventus qualifying against Kog women. That's ended 3-1. That's how actually all those matches were played. And right now, these ladies are qualified. They will be happy at least they'll be able to scale through in all these games. Good one for Arsenal, good one for Zurich women, who actually won 10-0. PSG, Real Madrid Femenino, and all the other teams that qualify in the UEFA Champions League there. Why was he talking about this? You look at women's game, really, the pace, the level at which they play football now. I love the fact that most of these ladies can actually face some men's team, seriously.
Honestly, I agree with you. But the little challenge I will have as a woman being is that once we have fallen in love with a certain crop of people, it's always difficult for us to look elsewhere, to look for alternative that can give us more than what we have at hand. And that's what is happening in Europe, because all the attention, all the interest goes to men football. Whenever you see men playing, that is when you see
attention is always there.
But if they give more awareness to women football, like TV right that they normally give them, the way we watch EPL, you devote time to watch EPL. Some people, they don't do anything on Saturday than to just watch EPL and watch all the other clubs in Europe. So for me, if you watch them, if you take your time to watch them, like we advocate of women football in Nigeria, you have to discover that they are coming up, they are stepping up. The way they play their game, the speed, even the skill that you see from them is because we are not privileged to be watching them. That is why we think men play better than women.
If not for the strength, really. At times when you watch the women football, the skills they show, the pace at which they move, you'll be wondering, really, are these ladies? Seriously, football has really developed when it comes to women. And you look at stadia across Europe where these matches are being played, 40,000. One of those days when you only see 10,000, 5,000. But now, 40,000, 60,000 capacity. People are coming to watch women football, and it's really getting so interesting. And I love the fact that even in Nigeria, attention little by little is getting better. We see our women league where the ladies are beginning to get that little recognition?
To be sincere with ourselves, as for me, everybody have their own opinion. In Nigeria of today, I don't know that of yesterday, and then I don't know that of tomorrow because I am not God. Women football is better than men football in this country right now as we speak. Because their league, they were able to organize their own. Thank God you are part of those people that project them when they are playing. You discover that they play their game unlike what we have in men's events. So for me, those people that started with responsibility and then the government in quotes, as well as the NFF, because I know that this storm will be over. And then whenever we have the new crop of the leaders, we should be able to think towards the women football in the country.
We just hope that it gets better there. While we're talking about UEFA Champions League for women, quickly, Chelsea did well. That's the women also. They were able to win the Battle of London against West Ham. Arch rival there, big one. They won that game 3-1. You have to give it up to Chelsea for what they did by winning that game there. That's the FA Women's Super League result where Chelsea, they were able to win. Well, good one for Chelsea. They are right now doing well, while at least the men just have to copy their women for what they are doing right now. Quickly, let's run through two stories that have to do with transfer. Rivers United signed Watanga FC forward. Watanga FC is from Liberia. They got a player there. That's a good one. At least the product of that Champions League they played has brought them a striker called Albert Cover. Cover has joined them from Watanga FC of Liberia to play for Rivers United. That will be a nice one. At least at Dukia America Stadium in Port Harcourt. We will be waiting to see what will this player offer, at least when it comes to Champions and also the MPFL. Congrats to Rivers United getting this talented forward from Liberia.
Honestly, it's a very good one for Rivers club. They are doing well in all of the game they played so far, and then being one of the club that signed at least let's say foreigners, so I can travel to Port Harcourt to watch because people feel that these are the white people. I want to flee out of the country to go and watch them, so I can take myself to Port Harcourt to watch this Liberian player. For me, it's a very good one because it will tell much about our league, because when people are ready to play in our league.
All these people are from Liberia now. Yes. Liberians want to watch to see what is this guy doing in Nigeria.
There was a year where we have the like of Ifeanyi Uba club. He brought Brazilian players. Yes. If you go to whenever they are playing, people want to watch, people want to see, people want to relate with them. I think it's a very good one if we try as much as possible to make our league better so that it will attract the interest of both the player and the business from across the continent of Africa. I think it's a good one for them.
A good one there for Rivers United, being able to get Albert Kovar to join them from Watanga FC of Liberia. And the last one on the log has to do with a club from England, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Right now, they've reportedly signed a player called Dario Osario from Universidad de Chile for the amount that was £5.5 million. Very good midfielder, according to Wolves, actually saying that they've gotten this player right now with this amount, and he will be joining them. Good one for Wolves. Let them get him to at least add more sparks to the midfield of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wait to see what he will be actually offering that club. Dario Osario, that's the name of the player from Universidad de Chile that has been acquired by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, before we go, Joel Ajayi, NFF election just in the world. Do you wish that this election should hold? Let's just say, assuming the court injunction is removed.
Honestly, I want the election to hold, but on one condition. Carry everybody along. If we did not carry everybody along, we will still start another 4 years of challenge. That's my point.
What's a way to end the show? We just have to do the right thing for Nigerian football to at least get more development that it deserves. That will be it on 360 Sport for this hour. Well, I've been with Joel Ajayi. Thanks for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Good one. Sport is always business and fitness. From 360 Stable, Trust TV, I am Adini Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.